I've had a few posts turn up in my newsfeed on LinkedIn in the last couple of days, lamenting the fact that software engineering used to be objective, and now, thanks to diversity activities in the US, it's no longer objective. I'm not going to dig into the diversity issue. I think that's a thorny one. However, I think that these people are wrong about thinking that coding is objective or was objective in the past. I can give an example of this because in coding it's not just about the outcome of what you do, it's also about how you do it. And as somebody, possibly because I'm left-handed, who has repeatedly through his career done things in unconventional ways and ended up sometimes in trouble for it, I can give an example from my undergraduate days back in the early 90s, namely where we were given a task to do some embedded programming in order to display a sine wave on an oscilloscope, and I managed to do that perfectly okay. And then the second half of the assignment, which I completely and utterly failed, by the way, we had to change our code so that it displayed a cosine wave, and the embedded system came with the values for the sine wave preloaded onto it into memory. So I just thought, oh well, the quickest way to do that would be to move a quarter of the sine wave data to the end and shunt the other 3/4 up and run exactly the same program again. And that's what I did, and indeed it displayed a cosine wave on the oscilloscope, but when the lecturer looked at my code, he saw that it was exactly the same as the code in the first case, and I failed. I got 50% on that assignment. Now, the funny thing is that 2 weeks earlier I'd been in a lecture where the lecturer was talking about how code is data, and that's what I had used in order to complete the assignment. So I found that quite confusing at the time, and I seem to remember I had a bit of an argument which I lost, because of course as an undergraduate you're not in a position of power when dealing with a member of the faculty. So I don't think that coding has ever really been objective. It's always fitted into the community or the society in which it's taking place. And actually the same carries over even into mathematics, but that's a whole nother issue to go into. Anyway, just a thought for Friday. Hope you found that interesting. See you in the next video soon. Bye for now.